you were at the bar, you were sitting at the bar?
Yes.
Does Wilson sit behind you, next to you?
He did, yeah. He was trained to lay right behind me.
And do you have his leash in hand?
Leash is in my left hand. I order a beer, have it in my right hand.
Okay.
And I felt Wilson stand up behind me. And so I turned around to see what was going on, and that's when I noticed...
Well, before we get there, let me ask you, Ms. Paulson, how does Molly react to dogs generally?
Molly, she didn't grow up with dogs, was always with humans, myself and my friends. I don't think she really likes dogs. She doesn't play with dogs, so that's why she's on the leash 24/7.
Does she bark a lot?
No, she doesn't bark.
No.
She doesn't bark.
Okay.
And she didn't even bark his dog.
How do you know that?
My dog sitter told me.
You see, this is going to be problematic here.
Yeah, but I have to trust her because unfortunately I wasn't there. I was out of the country.
Yeah.
But that was what she told me.
Were you aware that she was taking her to a bar? Was that okay for you?
It could be okay.
Okay, so you
but
didn't mind she took her to a bar?
No, I didn't mind because my dog is very well behaved. She doesn't attack people or dogs.
Yes.
When I walked into the bar, the dog sitter was already there and was in the corner with two people that I knew. One of the people I knew came over and said, hey, there's a woman over here with a small dog. She waved her hand. She said, hey, I'm watching my boss's dog.
She was close enough for you to hear that?
Yes. Oh, I heard her say that. And she said, she's a barker. She doesn't like other dogs.
That's what the sitter told
That's what the sitter told me.
Bark.
And I said, I'm going to go way over here.
Okay.
And went approximately 50 feet away to the other side of the bar and sat down.
And then tell me about how
there was a couple that I knew, a male and a female couple, sitting with the dog sitter. The female in that couple and the dog sitter came over to me. That's when my dog stood up.
When they came over to you, where was Molly?
I didn't see Molly. That was the first thing that I looked for.
Could she have been on the ground and you just missed her?
No, because they were there for at least a minute or two.
Okay.
Wilson stood up. I had him sit down. You know, they were petting him. The dog sitter was asking me some questions. And then the male that had been with them, I saw him kind of coming towards us. And that's when I got nervous because I thought he might have had Molly on a leash. And that's when I saw Molly behind the two females. And that's when Wilson left.
All right, Judge Juarez.
All right, you actually went back and took pictures of the bar.
I did.
So this is one of the pictures of the bar. This is Defendant's Evidence Exhibit A. And we see this red
That red arrow is approximately where I was sitting, and I took that picture from where the dog sitter was sitting.
That's where you were sitting?
Correct.
Okay, and then this is where Molly was?
That's correct.
It's a good distance away. And you made the specific decision to move.
Oh, absolutely.
So that you were not, so that you didn't have your dog close to another dog.
Often other dogs would come in there, and if those other dogs would bark, I left. I paid my tab, and I left. You know, it just wasn't worth it. There was another bar I could go to around the corner, not a big deal.
So when you say that if other dogs started to bark, it wouldn't go well, what would your dog do?
He usually would start to get very anxious. If it was an aggressive dog, that would elicit usually a reaction out of my dog. He would want to engage. He wasn't much of a barker, but yes, he'd pull at his leash like they were pulling on their leashes, you know, and that's why I did the extra training, because I'm a responsible dog owner, and I know I have a 180-pound animal here that could hurt people, could hurt animals, and I wouldn't ever want to do that.
That's only because of his size and because he's an animal.
Never any aggressive behavior whatsoever.
No biting, no
Never
nipping.
once.
And you don't have any reason to believe that he's particularly aggressive or anything like that. It's just his size.
The only thing I ever saw him jump after were pigeons and rats in the city. I mean, to be honest with you.